Good morning. Just having a burrito while they're sharpening our skis over at Christie's. Getting a little scratchy underneath that powder. I think Karen's got a message today, something about turning those sour lemons into sweet, ice cold lemonade.
Yes, embrace the change. Sometimes it's easier said than done, which brings me to a personal story for Jeffrey and I. We were vacationing July of 2015, went to Mackinac Island to visit our youngest who was working there for the summer, and we left that trip so proud of what she was doing, so excited to learn about the island. If you haven't been there, it's phenomenal. They don't allow any automobiles, so go visit. And we made lifelong friends, the Chambers and the Murrays, and adore them. Got home feeling so uplifted. Life was so perfect. Stepped into the house and splish splash. I mean that when I say it. It wasn't a little bit of water. Stepped into our house and it was flooded. So in pure style of most people, we resisted the fact that our house was flooded and change was among us. And Jeffrey and I looked at each other, brought our suitcases in, went upstairs to the second level, which had no water damage, unpacked, and went to bed. The next morning we woke up and looked at each other again and said, okay, this is big and we need to figure out what to do. Change was upon us. Life had changed on a dime. And we ended up having to move out of our house. Every single item I'm talking about, every paper clip was packed up and put into storage. All of our quote unquote stuff that we had, worked so hard to accumulate. And we spent a year living in a hotel, and then we decided, you know what, let's move up to our little condo in Copper Mountain. So we went from 7,000 plus square feet with all of our stuff to 1,000 square feet with none of our stuff, and started rebuilding the house and created our dream house. And in that journey, we realized that this change was just what we needed to bring us to the right path, which is life isn't about this stuff. I mean, we had lived without that stuff for 2 years and didn't miss any of it. In fact, when we went through it, we ended up throwing about 90% of that stuff, not throwing it out, we ended up giving it away.
Giving it away, yeah.
But the point is, we didn't need it anymore. It didn't define us at all. And that big, beautiful house that we had created with all of our, dream items in it was no longer needed either. And the 1,000 square feet surrounded by God's beautiful mountains was exactly what we needed. So we have embraced that change in our life, and thank God that we were able to experience this journey, because if we didn't have that, I'm going to call it a tragic moment that became a wonderful thing to happen to us. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't be where we are today, which is living our dream life in Copper Mountain, skiing every day, working where we want to work, sometimes on the slopes, sometimes by our fire. Life is great because we have embraced the change. So that's my message. Embrace the change. Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love.